This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by GoDaddy and Red Steel 2. Today on Film Riot, we talk HD-DSLRs and later some explanation wrapped in A.D.D.
In the beginning, Adam bites the apple. In 1903, the first narrative film is made. In 93, Spielberg says F you to evolution. And in 2009, Film Riot is released to the world.
Want to be a filmmaker? Well, so do I. Let's figure it out. We're going to be following Trying Films from pre to post-production as we make our latest short film, Tell. Along the way, we're going to be showing you how to accomplish great effects with little to no budget. And every now and again, we'll be jumping over to Full Sail University to get you advice from the pros.
So grab some popcorn and get comfortable. This is Film Riot. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques and go into some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley. Now, first of all, this is the first time that I ever used a DSLR camera for the purpose of shooting HD video. Now, mostly I was impressed and in some cases head over heels in love, but then the honeymoon ended and I saw these beauties without their makeup on. The DSLR camera was not designed with the filmmaker in mind, and although there's a lot of upsides, there's also a few pretty big downsides for you to be aware of. But before we get into the cons, we're going to cover the pros right after a few clips of these lovelies in action. Right off the bat, I was super impressed by the image quality these cameras can put out, especially from the full-frame sensor camera. A couple of you even noticed and commented on the change in quality when we used the 5D for a couple of shots in the show.
What do you have there?
A peanut butter and also jelly sandwich.
That sounds nice. I think I will also make one.
I doubt it. There's none left.
The shallow depth of field is obviously a huge plus here, whereas with the other cameras you would have to add a lens adapter, which would knock down a stop or two of light and add a lot of weight to your camera. Here it's built in and keeps your camera light, which these cameras are already very light and isn't necessarily a good thing, but we'll get to that a bit later. Another really cool thing about these cameras is that they're both still and video cameras, so it's very easy to switch over to still to grab a few behind the scenes snapshots, which you're going to need for most film festivals. A lot of them can also take pictures while you're in the middle of recording video. The portability of these cameras is another huge plus. How easy it is to carry it around your neck to start shooting whenever you're ready is pretty freaking sweet. And transferring your footage is really easy as well. Just connect your camera to the computer and upload your video. However, once you have your videos in your computer, you're gonna have to convert them to something more usable with your editing program. To do this, I used a free program that can be found online called MPEG Streamclip. And although this adds one more step to your post-production process, it was still much faster than capturing tape. So now on to the cons. As I said before, these cameras are very lightweight, and to me, that's somewhat of a downside, since when it comes to handheld work, I like to have a little more weight to my camera to help stabilize the shot. Of course, you can go to a company like Red Rock or Zacuto to start buying add-on gear to make these cameras more like proper video cameras, but that starts to get very expensive and turns the low-cost attraction of these cameras down. Another problem with the build of these cameras is the LCD. Unlike all video cameras, most of the DSLRs have a static LCD, meaning they don't rotate, which makes getting some angles really freaking annoying or just impossible. Of course, you can correct this by getting a monitor add-on, but you're once again boosting the cost to these low-price beauties. Now, those are my only external issues with the camera. The rest of my problems are all internal. And as I said before, audio with these cameras is a huge issue. Even the ones that do have a mic input have no manual control or levels to monitor, which is a huge freaking no-no for us filmmakers. But if you insist on doing in-camera audio, you can always get an external microphone like the Rode Video Mic. And although this is an excellent microphone, the AGC, meaning automatic gain control, ruins audio for filmmaking because it's constantly adjusting the gain, which brings up a lot of noise. If you have the Canon 5D, you can always get third-party firmware update like Magic Lantern, which will disable the AGC and give you audio levels to monitor. You can also get Canon's newly released firmware update, which addresses some of those problems as well. For the rest of you, if you want good audio, you're going to have to record externally and sync it later. If you want to try that out, try checking out the Zoom H4n. Issue number the next one is rolling shutter. Now, rolling shutter is a jello effect that happens to your footage when there's fast movement, like when you pan quickly. For instance.
Goldfish.
This is by no means a deal breaker, but if you're not careful, it can produce some footage that's pretty icky to look at. Like the entire cast of Jersey Shore. My final problem with these cameras is the aliasing issue. Now, to explain this, I would need a few drinks and about 20 more minutes of episode, and I have time for neither. So for a better explanation than a drunken version of me could give, go to this link. For a clickable version, go to the description and enjoy.
Yarine!
Yeehaw!
So my final opinion on these HD DSLR cameras is that when used for the right job, they can be pretty amazing. Now I don't think they eliminate the need for HD cameras like the Sony EX series for instance, but I do think they're another great tool to add to your gear list, especially when shooting with no audio. So what now, Josh?
How about a sponsor, right?
Red Steel 2 was the first game designed exclusively for the Wii with Wii Motion Plus, which gives you unmatched precision control of the on-screen action and allows you to experience realistic, first-hand swordplay and gunplay. From the first swing of the sword to the effortless flip to your revolver, you know you're in for a wild ride. Players will be able to fight up to 6 enemies at a time and will be able to deflect their opponent's bullets with their sword. Red Steel 2 takes place in a Western setting with Asian accents and enemies that seamlessly blend the cowboy shootouts with Asian fighting style. Think Sergio Leone meets Kurosawa. The main character, known as a swordman, is a member of a clan who were almost killed off by a group of thugs known as the Jackals. Now, as one of the last survivors, the swordman sets off on a mission to avenge his fallen clan and begins hunting down the Jackals and their leader, Pain. Red Steel 2 will be released on March 23rd, 2010.
Hey Rye, what the was that? So as you saw from a few episodes ago, I used a Viewfinder Clip-Y thingy, an external microphone, and a jib to shoot with these digital SLRs. So first, I'm going to start by explaining the Viewfinder, which fits on most 3-inch LCD screens. Basically, you just put a magnet frame on the back of your LCD, and this attaches and turns into a proper viewfinder, basically. This thing has a great design and looks very slick on the camera, which is good because, as you know, fashion is everything in cinematography. The purpose of your LCD viewfinder is to amplify your image by 200%, which is obviously going to be a big help when getting your focus and setting exposure. This is especially true when shooting in the sun. Now, I love this viewfinder, but there is a downfall. There's no diopter, which means you can't adjust it to your eye. So if you wear glasses, it's going to be a bit tough for you. But with a price tag of $159, you can't really complain. Now, of course, you could upgrade to the Z Finder, but now you're talking about just under $400. So really, it all depends on how much money you have to throw around.
I'd give you $1 million to let me sleep with your wife.
I don't know, man.
And I have a name. It's Sarah Jessica Parker.
What the was that? The Rode video mic is basically just an upgrade to your on-camera mic, and a really freaking good one at that. It's positioned on its own shock mount and has a built-in windscreen. Now, if you're going to do some outdoor shooting, you might want to upgrade it, but it's pretty decent. On the back of the mic, you'll find the power switch, which has 3 positions: off, on, and high pass filter. That third position is going to filter out low frequencies and help better single out your talent's voice. The mic mounts to the shoe of your camera and connects via the 1/8-inch audio video jack. I was very impressed by this mic. The difference between the on-camera mic and this mic was pretty night and day.
This is audio without the Rode mic attachment.
This is audio from the on-camera microphone.
This is with the Rode mic attachment.
This is the Rode mic attachment.
Audio with the Rode mic attachment.
Now, even if you're going to record external audio, I would still suggest investing in this mic. You're going to need good reference audio, and this is the perfect mic for it.
Some sort of crazy, unpredictable, ADD-driven cutaway that'll make you giggle but not necessarily laugh really hard.
Lately, I've had a bajillion questions asking what this little thingamabobber was. This device is called a jib and can be used to make fantastical shots like this one. This particular one's from Kessler Crane, and believe you me, they make one mean jib.
Put a camera on my head. Go ahead, put a f***ing camera on my f***ing head, Ryan. I will f***ing hit you with my f***ing metal appendages.
I'm just kidding, jibs can't talk. I will be getting into gear like this in the future, but in the meantime, if you want to know more about Kessler Crane, you can always check out their site. Good talk.
Looking to drive viewers to your video content? Well, then get a .tv domain name and stand out from the crowd. .tv domain names are perfect for podcasters, video bloggers, anyone with something to say. And they're available now at GoDaddy.com. Also, be sure to check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for all the Film Riot GoDaddy deals and codes.
Did you notice that this episode got increasingly hyperactive? I had coffee midway through writing it. Maybe not do that. Anyway, email filmriot@revision3.com, Twitter 11, twitter.com/Ryan_Conley, and Facebook, link below.
See you next Thursday.
Creepy.
Don't look, Bruno.
Explanation, 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 explanation.
Touch this face. Touch this face.
Unbelievable.
Ryan, deserved. That's not. Sarah Jessica Parker. Hello. My shirt is Dior, and my husband's Matthew Broderick.
Oh my god!